I'm the scat man. Yo Toronto. Skimmy yo Toronto. Yo Happy Wednesday, you pumpers. Welcome to Puck Props presented by Bet99. Josh Ingles. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That means it's Coco's turn to return. What's up, buddy? How are you?
Stop.
What's up?
SOP.
Oh, you got to listen to Carlo every morning for 4 hours. That's how you spend your mornings from 6 to 10.
Yeah, you know it.
Carlo, all right. So let's get this out of the way. Hit that like button. If you don't, you will lose your bets. It's as simple as that. I don't make up the rules.
Agree.
That's how
agree.
the math works, especially when you're
agree.
getting it for free on this side. We're going to run through yesterday's breakdown. We're going to look at the 3 games today. We're going to have some insights. We're going to have some bets. Your job is to say what you want in the chat. Keep it clean, Mikey Glove saves, and let's have a Wednesday. Right out of the gate, where did I want to go with this? I wanted to start off with the Ted Lindsay talk because you were spirited on it. And it's a really interesting spot. So if you don't know, the Ted Lindsay Award nominations came in yesterday, and that is voted on by the players.
Yeah.
And the 3 finalists were Macklin Celebrini, Connor McDavid, and Nikita Kucherov. So if you're holding a Nathan MacKinnon MVP ticket, you're like, the Hart got the Rocket guy didn't even get nominated, not let alone win.
By the players.
By the players.
Yeah.
Now, I think the last one, since 2013, there's only been one winner who wasn't nominated. Any guess at who that was?
The one winner of the Hart that wasn't nominated as a Ted Lindsay?
Yes.
The last 10 years, you said?
2017, 2018. That is your Hart winner. Tough call.
Know. You're frozen on my end.
Because I brought something up. I brought another page up. That's why.
There you go. You're back now.
2017, 2018. The player is still currently in the playoffs, but on a different team.
2017, 2018. Well, okay. What conference?
East.
Sidney Crosby?
Oh, he's in the East now. I'm assuming. Where did he win that in? Why am I so dumb? It's Taylor Hall. It's a tough one, right? Like
that's right. Yeah.
So he would have won that in 17-18. Where did he win that?
New Jersey.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
The one before that, Ovechkin, 12-13.
Okay, so you brought up this conversation because you clearly heard my stance on it.
So if you're a writer, give me your 1, 2, 3, 4 order.
So I'm going McDavid 1, McKinnon 2, Celebrini 3, Kucherov 4.
Okay. I don't think you can argue with it. I think you're right. I think there's anti-Kucherov arguments. I think there's more of an argument that McKinnon should be in that list more so than maybe.
Well, just because he scored 53 goals?
Yeah. And his team was
led the league in scoring, and team won the President's Trophy. Like, I'm not taking anything away from Kucherov, but again, like, we've seen Kucherov do that before. We've seen McKinnon do that before. We've seen McDavid do it before. Celebrini just broke a franchise record and had 115 points, 65 more points than his next teammate on his team in his second year in the season. Like, when people see that, they go, wow.
No? they go, what? I thought you were saying more on that. Wow. They go, wow. And that's the end of it.
I mean, okay, but what wow reaction are you going to get from the other 3 guys if you ask people?
I don't know, Kucherov jumping over the boards up 4-2 and getting more empty net points. Woohoo! Okay. Playing double shifting on the power play.
Okay, right? But you're not gonna say, wow, McDavid had an unbelievable year. He had 138 points. No, because he had 150 points one year.
Yeah. McDavid's just like, wow, he's still alive and playing hockey.
Wow, McDavid's still putting up that many points. McDavid led the league in scoring again. Like, it's not a wow thing. McKinnon
Kucherov
scoring
got a break over the Olympics. Wow.
Like, to me, the only wow factor in this conversation is Celebrini because he's new to it.
Yep. I can't disagree. I can't disagree. I know Korolnik was like, no way. But it's going to be a very tough vote.
He's like adamant. He's like Sherlock guarantee.
But it sounds like he has the inside information.
But that's what I mean. That's why I was asking. I'm like, well, what do you know that I don't know?
Yeah. When you couldn't even get a California sandwich out of him, he knows like he wants more. He's holding his cards close to his chest.
Right. I'm like, I mean, this doesn't seem as obvious as you're making it sound.
All right, let's get to yesterday's slate, which was an incredible slate. I mean, there was a time I had both games going on, the early games. Buffalo was on a power play. Minnesota was on a power play at the last time. The Buffalo power play late, I think it was late in the second, was incredible. Just couldn't get it done. Jeremy Swayman is a bad man right now, and that has to be scary to Buffalo if they end up taking this to 7 games and all of a sudden the goalie situation can tilt things so incredible. But Boston's winning games and they only need to score 2 goals. Yeah. Like what confidence does Buffalo have now, a young Buffalo team, after struggling to score in an elimination game? I know Lindy Ruff is obviously a seasoned coach, but like, does that drag on to the next game?
Does what drag on?
The lack of score. You put up 4 in the first.
I mean, you're still up 3-2 in the series. You still have 2 games to win 1. I mean, it sucks it didn't end last night in front of your home fans, because in overtime it would have been electric. Like, that would have been, a forever lasting moment in whoever scored it and in Buffalo history. But it didn't happen. And now you move on to the next game, and your next game, you got to find a way. I mean, remember, it's hard to beat one team in the playoffs in 2 straight games. Now you're telling yourself to beat Boston in 3 straight games, because it was 1-1. Sorry, it was 1-0, 1-1. Then they go into Boston, they win 2 straight. Beating a team 3 straight games is not easy in the playoffs. So I wouldn't, if I'm Buffalo, yeah, you're upset, but you can't. Like, the thing about winning in the playoffs is about controlling your emotions, because you're not always going to get the result that you feel like you deserve.
Ostlund did exit that game, but it sounds like Josh Norris is ready to come back, so he would probably slot back in there. Keep an eye on that. Minnesota and Dallas, and Minnesota up 3-2 in the series.
This is wild.
The 5-on-5 numbers are ridiculous. They haven't scored a 5-on-5 goal in 207 plus minutes.
Dallas hasn't.
Like, It's embarrassing. So does it either go one way or the other, where you can say the expected goals of 5-on-5 are pretty even, they're just not falling, so maybe it's sustainable, or they score, or maybe Dallas just can't beat Wallstedt at even strength? Which side would you take? Sooner or later the dam breaks, or maybe
I mean, it's surprising that you're in a 3-2 series and you haven't scored an even strength goal. It really is.
That's the positive, right?
Right. That's the positive here, Dallas. But you got to find a way to break through 5-on-5. I mean, it's as simple as that. How they do it, I mean, I don't know. Like, outside of Hughes and Faber, like, who's imposing on that Minnesota back end? They got to find a way.
Yeah, I mean, Mikko Rantanen is not Mikko Rantanen of playoffs past. He's not taking over. He's taking dumb penalties. And right now, you think with the whistles getting slightly put away and the 5-on-5 numbers, actual goals not expected, that kind of the people who were like me, who wanted Dallas and thought Dallas was a better team and was great in the first round and knows how to beat Minnesota, knows how to beat great teams, like, they're just not showing enough after 5 games.
No, they're not.
No.
So, I mean, look, last year, Rantanen broke out in Game 6 and Game 7 of the first round. Is this where Rantanen comes to play? Maybe. But Minnesota has put themselves in a really good position here, going home with a chance to close the series. And Dallas, it's an uphill climb right now, for more reasons than one. Just, it's a 5-on-5 scoring. It's down 3-2 in the series. It's not getting some production out of your best players. They got more questions to answer than Minnesota does.
Just off the top of my head, I haven't really thought about it much either. Who do you think could give Colorado a better run for their money? Minnesota or Dallas? This version of Dallas. No Rupe hints.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
I'm starting to lean Minnesota after watching this.
yeah, I mean, and just look at the goaltending that the Minnesota's getting too with Wallstead, right? He's outplaying Ottinger.
Yep.
It's tough to say who would give him a better matchup. I think both of them would give him a really good matchup in their own ways, right? I mean, Minnesota's more top heavy. I think Dallas, they have top players, but they're deeper in my eyes when it comes to 4 lines and 6 defensemen. So I think over the length of a series, maybe Dallas would give Colorado a tougher matchup because of that depth. But if Minnesota star players like Boldy and Kaprizov and Hughes and Eriksson Ek, like these guys are showing up to play, man.
Yeah. Hartman's playing great in the playoffs. Took a Jamie Benn 2x4 to the neck. That was pretty dirty from Jamie Benn, but it was retaliatory because he took something in the face before. Zuccarello coming back changes the whole dynamic of Minnesota. Obviously, gives them some motivation going into this game, and that really helped them. But what does Carlo Colaiacovo? Let me rephrase that. What does Carlo Colaiacovo say to Dallas fans who are now tweeting about the playoff format now that they're facing elimination?
Yeah. Suck it, I guess that's what you would say, right?
The time is not after game 5 to throw that tweet out.
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, but again, look at the matchups too. You've had 2 sweeps. You probably could have had more than one game teams ending game 5. Does Gary's position strengthen off of this year's playoffs with his whole first round of their best round of the playoffs? I don't know. I'm never gonna buy into that. To me, I should always go 1-8.
Me and Andy yesterday were talking about it. I was getting crapped on. I called the Utah Vegas series a poop series. Not in an entertaining way, but just like it's like if you're a coach, you can't be happy with the way that like that series went. You're up 3-0, you blow a 3-goal lead. Utah has a third period lead. They blow that too. Like it's just going up and down, and the consistency is everywhere, probably killing coaches behind the bench. But that series is like that. Who knows what's happening in the Philly-Pittsburgh series, whether it's entertaining or not. It's not fantastic hockey. Edmonton and Anaheim, we came to the conclusion that whatever you think is going to happen in that series, it's possible to happen. But it seems like there's not a lot of elite playoff hockey series.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And I just want to comment on Avi Lehner. Sweeps would have been the same in both formats. Well, no, because in the Eastern Conference, Ottawa would have finished ahead of both Pittsburgh and Philly because of most points, right? Yeah. So you would have had a different playoff format or different playoff matchup. So, yeah, I don't know.
All right, we go to today's slate. Connor McDavid is alive. I didn't if anybody thought that Connor McDavid wasn't going to play yesterday, you're ridiculous.
Yeah.
The guy might
those mind games that they decided to play. Yeah, you know what? Let's plant a Connor McDavid game time decision.
But how about going back to Ingram? Right, that could have blown.
Well, they had no choice. They had no choice because their lifeline was in game 4 when they put Jari in the net. If Jari would have won that game, then you stick with him. But you can't go with Jari when Ingram's been your guy. Ingram played 19 of the 25 games coming out of the Olympic break.
Maybe old Knobloch, maybe old Chris made a good change at that time, giving himself one more game to go back to Ingram instead of throwing Jari in a potential elimination game.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like you look at that as sort of a reset for Ingram. He's played almost every other night. Maybe that was a chance for him to watch, reset, calm his nerves and find his game again. And it sure as hell looked like it worked. Look, I mean, Edmonton's been through this before. They've gone to 2 Stanley Cup playoff runs having to play 2 goaltenders. They did it in the first year with Pickard and Skinner, and they did it last year with Pickard and Skinner. So it shouldn't be surprising that they tried it again this year, and they almost had to. They had to with the way Ingram was playing, and obviously with their season on the line, they gotta go down with Ingram because that's the guy they decided to be the guy going into the playoffs.
Joan Mary probably said that, or John Emery. That's it. Joan Mary. You idiot, Josh. John Mary.
Sup.
926 says Jamie Benn might be the biggest scumbag player in the league. I'm still rooting for Dallas. He says, you don't have to answer this now, but think about it. Who do you think is the greasiest player right now in round 1 of the NHL playoffs? Who comes to mind to you? And I'll tee up Montreal, Tampa Bay.
It has to be Brandon Hagel, no?
You think Hagel's the dirtiest guy?
You said greasiest guy.
Yeah, like greasy, dirty, like not like greasy in the crease, like
right.
Someone that's, I don't know.
Well, I haven't watched enough of the late games to
where's Jack Campbell
to give you that answer. But I mean, if you look at the way Hagel plays, this guy's hitting, he's fighting, he's scoring, he's getting in guys' faces. I mean, he's an early candidate for that. Maybe Corey Perry, but I don't know.
Yeah, like the Konechny shot on Crosby, Jamie Benz. There it is. The Konechny did. Dahlin, that's an interesting one. I haven't seen Dahlin be that dirty, so something to keep an eye out because you do have to pay attention to it. Because when you're really dirty, you're dirty and nobody notices. Montreal plus 140 at Tampa Bay, minus 160 over under sitting at 5.5. We go back to Tampa Bay. Montreal money line. I do think that the sportsbooks just love to stick to their guns, price this as they were the 82 game teams they were during the regular season. But as we've seen in this series, like game 4 probably should have went to overtime as well. I don't see any separation between these two teams, and I'm sure you don't either.
No, I don't. It's
140 is crazy.
4 1-goal games. I mean, you think about Montreal had a lead going into the third period in game 2, Montreal lead going into the third period in game 4. So this could easily be it should be a one-sided. Montreal should be up 3-1 in this series.
Maybe Montreal blew third period leads in both of their losses.
Yeah. So I think the extra day is going to should help Montreal because that was probably a really hard emotional loss in game 4, considering what you felt like you had in front of you. And maybe the extra days helps manage the emotions a little better. But I mean, I don't see why Tampa should be a big favorite in this.
Let's go Matheson on the over 2.5 blocks plus 130 here.
Oh, you love the block shots.
No, I'm trying to learn the better spots to hit block shots because I've hit them in other spots and they don't hit. Matheson's role right now, PK1 on the road, first change, right? So he's got to go over the boards first and then they'll match up. So he's going to have every defensive zone face-off. Those are going to be his shifts. In the 2 games in Tampa Bay, he had 9 block shots versus, I think, only 3 in Montreal. I think that's the angle you take on the block shots. You take the guys covering the big dogs on the road opposed to at home. This series hasn't really produced a lot of shot attempts, maybe one of the fewest of the series, but over 2.5 plus 130. This is where I go on it. Montreal's blown a third period lead in both of their losses. And in a series this tight, that might be the difference when things are said and done. What do you think creates a good team that can close out a game this late in the season? Because we've seen a lot of teams right now cling to that 1-goal lead, defend, and then the dam breaks because you're playing in your own end for that long.
Well, I think the team to model that type of play that put on an absolute clinic in the first round is the Carolina Hurricanes, right? All this team did was protect leads. They didn't trail once in the series. So if you saw how they protected leads, it was blocking a ton of shots. It was making smart plays, breaking out of your end. And it was not allowing second and third chances off the shots. Freddie Anderson, I mean, people are complimenting Freddie Anderson. It's like, oh, we didn't give enough credit to him. Well, when you have a defense in front of you that makes life easy for you, it kind of helps you play the position a lot better, does it not? So to me,
yes.
they're the example of how to protect the lead.
Agreed. That's it. But I think that's just you just become an elite team when you can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think Rod Brindamore said it best in his post game. He said, you know, it really helps when you have a veteran team that has been there and done that a lot, because in those situations where your emotions are riding high, you know, you can tend to lose focus a little bit, but we trusted the experience and we just had guys that just feel comfortable going out there and making the right plays. That's what they have.
You think the Crozier hit on Slafkovsky was dirty?
No. Clean as a whistle.
Really?
Well, I mean, look, you slow it down on the reverse angle. Yeah, he hits his head, but I mean, he hits his head because Slafkovsky sees him at the last second and he tries to duck his way out of it. But that's as clean as it comes, man. Open ice. I mean, I'm glad there's no injury, but yeah, that's textbook, man.
Slafkovsky's got to take it easy out there right now. That face is taking a pounding.
It's playoff hockey, man.
Newhook, Kapanen, and Demidov don't need a calculator to put this one together. 0 5-on-5 points between the three of them. That can't exist. That can't happen. And I wouldn't be surprised today if Marty changed up the lines, if he moved Slav, because Slav's been cold on that top line. You're on the road. You need to balance the lines out a bit more. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Slav jump over to that second line with Demidov, maybe with Kapanen. Maybe who do you throw up to the top line? You throw Anderson up to that top line at all?
Maybe. I mean, he's earned it.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. If you're doing that, you got to bring Gallagher back in.
Yes, he fills the Anderson role.
Yeah, because you got to have Deneau, Gallagher, and Evans, or maybe you move Evans back into the middle, and maybe you take Kapanen out. I don't know, because he's a young player.
Yeah,
right. And you bring in Veleno, because you can't like that. That Deneau, Anderson, and Evans line has been a very trustworthy line for Marty St. Louis, because not only do they get the defensive assignments, but these guys every once in a while are creating offense and they're creating havoc. So if you're going to make that type of switch, you got to find Anderson's replacement on his line. And I don't think Doc's that answer.
No, agreed. They did their magic in game 3. Don't know if we'll see it going forward, but yeah, that game is going to be decided by something very small. So I'm taking the plus 140 on that. Pittsburgh, Philly minus 120. This price is indicating Pittsburgh, if this game was played on neutral, Pittsburgh would be minus 125 favorite. I don't really see it, but at the end of the day, this series is just it's a little tough on the eyes. It's a little tough on the eyes. We're going Malkin Chinnikov under 0.5 points plus 160. If Malkin on the power play burns me, so be it. If Pittsburgh's playing with the lead, he's not coming over the bench. He's stapled to the bench when they're up. 14 minutes a game when they're playing with the lead. Chinnikov has done next to nothing in the series. Back to block shots. Parker Wotherspoon, the first, over 1.5 block shots plus money. We saw him increase time on ice, which is obviously something that's important. PK1, obviously something that's important. 9 block shots in his last 3 games and hit both games over in Philadelphia. Same situation with Matheson. He'll get out there, defend. Which of these teams do you think can force the Canes to play more than 5 games?
I'm going to go Pittsburgh.
You'd go Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
I thought the easy answer would just be Phillies, more playoff style hockey.
No, I mean, if you go to the matchups Pittsburgh and Carolina had this year, there was a lot of high scoring games. I think Pittsburgh.
Mike Swingle and chat saying Crosby, Rust, Raquel plus 275 for a point there.
And here's the other thing, Josh, is if they do find a way to come back in this series, how do you stop Pittsburgh with the momentum that they would have just built?
Because they're not a good team.
I know, but good teams and great teams don't always win in the playoffs. It's all about momentum, right? If you come down from 3-0 down, go back in history and look at the teams that have come back from 3-0 down and how far they've gone.
Sure. Okay. I can
Right?
deal with that. We'll call that the.
You just feel like you're invincible at that time. You're like,
Yeah, and
it
it's not
doesn't
like
matter.
Philly's gonna like if there's a team to blow a 3-0 lead, like the Flyers could be hit.
Yeah. No, so okay, so let me ask you, how do you feel about this? Do you think Pittsburgh can pull it off?
I think anything can happen in this series.
Yeah.
Because they're two teams.
This is what I'm gonna say. If Pittsburgh wins tonight, they're winning the series.
Oh, okay, sure. But they go home, they're gonna be favorite. That's like, yeah.
I just think that like think about the legacy of Sidney Crosby and everything that he's accomplished. You don't think he wants to add his name into the record books of one of maybe 5 or 6 captains that were able to march a team back from 3-0 down?
Sure.
Right?
Of course he wants to. I'm just wondering.
Well, I know. I'm just.
I know it's but like
Artur
Shilovs is your guy going forward, and the changes helped.
How okay, hold on a second. Based on everything we've witnessed with Pittsburgh this year, I mean, every month we were saying, okay, they got to fall off. They got to fall off. They got to fall off. Even down 3-0, it's like, okay, well, that was a waste of a season. And if they come back to win, like, this is Crosby we're talking about.
Okay, this is Carolina. This is Buffalo. This is Colorado. That is a gauntlet.
Buddy, I see it. Did you think Florida, as the 8th seed beating Boston, was going to march their way to the final and start a dynasty?
Oh yeah, because that Ben Kindle line gives me same.
I'm just saying, hockey works in weird ways, man. Hockey works in weird ways. Not always the best team that wins. It's the team that's feeling the best at the moment.
Philly can lose this series. I'll say that for sure. Philly can absolutely.
And look, I think what's pivotal is like Pittsburgh has to mentally tell themselves that they have to score 3 or more goals. Because when they do, they'll win. If they get 2 or less, Vladar's been on this incredible heater, giving up 2 or less, and Philly winning because of it.
Anything can happen in this series.
Yeah, I agree.
Including Parker Wotherspoon, the first, getting 2 block shots at plus money. Utah and Vegas. Speaking of anything that can happen, like Utah plus 140, and I really want to get into Torts here. I really want to get into him. And we go Lawson Krause for a point, plus 110 minutes up, 19 plus minutes, blah, blah, blah. Same thing. Everything. Last game, Dorofeyev, Barbashev point. We saw that click immediately. Power play 1, line 1, looking good at home. Last change, blah, blah, blah. Fantastic. But Utah plus 140. Carter Hart is a bad goaltender right now. He has an .817 save percentage in Utah. He made 8 saves on 12 shots in game 3. He blew a 3-0 lead in game 4. And yet he's got his buddy in his corner who knows him from back in his Philly days. And he's got a Stanley Cup winning goalie with a .917 career postseason number in Adin Hill on his bench. And he's not going to make the move. Torts is going down with Carter Hart. And I don't know if that's a guy you want to go down with. Adin Hill should be the guy playing tonight, but he's not. But Torts is stubborn as it comes because I get it professionally. That's my guy. But I think he's making the wrong decision.
Hey, look, there's an argument to be made for that for sure. And maybe if they go down 3-2, maybe Hill comes in. I don't know. I think they're too far into it right now.
But that's what I mean. That's why we gave Knobloch the credit for making that move 1 game early.
Yeah, but they were down. They were down. Yeah, 2-1. Yeah, maybe last game was the game they should have done it, right?
And that's it. Torts has just seen him go on like a 3-week heater before the playoffs, and that was it. Outside of that, he had been brutal. So I just think with Carter Hart in net, Utah has like a 48%, 47% chance to win this game, just a little less than 50-50. You're getting plus 140.
Yeah.
I know Adin Hill wasn't good enough down the stretch. Guess what? Logan Thompson was awful in stretches too.
It's true.
All goalies were very bad. And I think a lot of that numbers-wise had to do with them taking away shots, but that's another story. I don't know. I just think that there's a spot where Utah can continue to play. They were down 3-0 last game. Showed they could come back.
Yeah.
That's heartbreaking that you blow that you score 4 unanswered goals. Isn't that your pet peeve in hockey? Right? You erase a major deficit to tie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You come all the way back, and then you still lose. Biggest pet peeve.
Have you heard those rumors about Torts not knowing guys' names?
I have not, no.
That's what Andy was saying. Sure, I didn't know some of the guys' names.
On Vegas?
Yeah, but that doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't, but
but you wouldn't put it past him?
You could also understand if that's true because he just got there, right?
Yeah. Hey, you, get over there. No, but I do think Krause 19 minutes, like I said, points in all but one game, less power play time. Whew. I want to see pain. I want to see Utah come back in the series. I am now a Utah guy. That's
Utah.
what I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing it. Who doesn't want to see Utah Anaheim?
But
wouldn't that be something that Bettman would enjoy?
Oh, he'd love it.
Right?
Are you kidding me? This is my league, fellas. He's got his feet up.
But why does he love the small markets so much?
I don't know.
Hey, 61, get on the ice. Yeah, Schwindel. I think it was Schwindel. Yeah. But that's what we got today. Some block shots here and some big games. Montreal, Tampa Bay. We got Montreal and Tampa Bay. Utah's the same, right? I think Montreal plus 140, that's the side. If you're taking Tampa Bay minus 160, you're going to sweat out 60 points for sure. And Utah plus 140 on that side. And right now, totals are terrifying. Unders are terrifying. Empty net goals, late goals, power play, 6-on-4s. Scary stuff down the stretch there, but let's go. Let's call it all dogs today. Pittsburgh, all dogs today, buddy.
Wow. All dogs today. Why not? Why not? It's the playoffs.
Yeah.
Why not?
But hey, back again tomorrow as always, 10 a.m. with Uncle Carlo, Josh Ingles, Carlo Colaiacovo, Puck Props presented by Bet99. Enjoy your day. Enjoy the afternoon. The sun's coming out. Lots of hockey tonight. Lots of stuff going on this weekend. We'll see you guys tomorrow, 10 a.m. Lead us out, buddy.
Ciao.